So if in the sixth grade, this is your science video for Monday, January 25th. We're going to be talking about plants and meeting the needs of those basic needs for those plants, how they get their food, how they live, how they grow. You have one work text page to do, and that's page 125, and you have a true-false section that you're going to look at the word that's there, and if the word is the correct word for those things, then you can leave it. If the word is supposed to be different, then you need to change it. And then on the bottom part, you have two letters to write. One is whether or not it is a migration type of activity, or if it is a hibernation type of activity. That shouldn't be too hard to recognize. So here we go, page 184, meeting needs. All living things have the same basic needs: food, water, protection for consumers, and shelter. To meet these needs, God designed living things with a variety of adaptations. Adaptations can include any special characteristics or skills that help a living thing survive in its environment. Plant adaptations. Most plants make food through photosynthesis. This process is not possible, though, without sunlight. Some plants need a lot of sunlight. Others need only a little. Plants that grow in shady places sometimes have large leaves. These leaves have a large surface area for collecting sunlight. Vines often climb on objects or other plants. Climbing helps the vine get up higher so they can get more sunlight. However, plants need more than just sunlight for photosynthesis. They also need carbon dioxide and water. So plants have tiny pores in their leaves. These holes are called stomata. Stomata allow air and water to move in and out of the plant. And so it's sort of like a mouth in a sense, but it's a lot smaller than that. And but it's where air can come through, in and out. A few unusual plants, such as sundews and Venus flytraps, catch their food as well as make it. These are carnivorous plants. These carnivorous plants are able to make food through photosynthesis. However, the soil in their swampy habitats often lacks some of the nutrients these plants need. These plants attract insects and other small animals. When an insect or animal gets close enough, the plant traps and eats it. The trapped insect or animal provides extra nutrients for the plant. Plants also need protection from predators. Some plants are protected by thorns, spines, or stinging hairs. Acacia trees have long thorns. These thorns protect the trees from many animals that would eat the leaves. Other plants, such as stinging nettles, are covered with tiny hairs. When touched, the tiny hairs sting the predator. Sometimes plants use poisons to protect themselves. The poisonous plants often taste bad. For example, acacia trees are often eaten by giraffes. These trees release a chemical that makes the leaves taste bitter after a few mouthfuls. The giraffe soon moves to a different tree. A plant's poison can sometimes cause sickness or death, but poisons that harm one animal might not hurt another species. God carefully designed adaptations so that animals and plants can meet their basic needs. Animal adaptations. So now we talked about plants, and now we're going to talk about animals adapting. And it says animals use a variety of ways to find food or protect themselves from predators. Some animals, such as the opossum, lie still when threatened and pretend to be dead. If you've ever heard anybody said they're playing possum, they're acting like they're dead, is kind of the idea. Both predators and prey use camouflage to blend in with their environment. Predators use camouflage to sneak up on their prey. Prey use it to avoid being seen. Other animals use mimicry and disguises. The scarlet king snake has colors and markings similar to those of the poisonous coral snake. This mimicry helps the coral king snake avoid hungry predators. The tawny frogmouth uses a disguise to hide from predators. The nocturnal bird's feathers are silver, gray, black, and white. During the day, the sleeping bird looks like a dead tree branch. School of fish you have there. It says living in groups is another way that animals meet their needs. Many species of animals live in groups. These groups have different names. Lions live in prides. Groups of fish stay together in schools. Termites live in colonies. Elephants travel in herds. No matter how a group is named, though, its advantages are the same. Living in a group makes it easier for the animal to find food. Being in a group also helps the animals protect and care for their young. Sometimes a whole group of animals leave one I lost my place there. A whole group of animals leaves one ecosystem and moves to another ecosystem. This adaptation is called migration. Animals migrate for different reasons. Some animals, such as salmon and sea turtles, move to a new place in order to reproduce or to raise their young. This is the reason the red knots migrate each year from South America to the Arctic Circle. Other animals migrate when their food supply is low. Now, question for you to think about: which animals do we see every fall and every spring that migrate? That we can see, especially if you look up in the sky. And obviously, you know now it's a bird, but that is the Canadian goose. And we'll see Canadian geese coming back in a month or so from the south where they've been to go further north into Canada. Some animals, such as birds and monarch butterflies, migrate when the seasons change. This migration helps them avoid weather that is too hot or too cold. Even huge gray whales move to warmer waters during the winter. Some animals do not need to eat food during winter. They sleep through the winter and wake up in the spring. Some of you would like to do that too. Some of you try to do that even while you're at school. This deep sleep, called hibernation, is one way that animals adapt to their climate. Animals that hibernate eat large amounts of food during the summer and autumn. This food is stored as body fat and provides energy for the animal while it sleeps. When an animal hibernates, its body temperature drops. In fact, its body temperature might be almost as cold as the weather outside its den. The animal's breathing rate and heart rate also drop. These lowered rates allow the animal to use very little energy during the winter. Then some fantastic facts there. So one hibernating animal has its own holiday. Americans celebrate Groundhog Day on February 2nd, which is Katie Haynes' birthday as well. And so we're going to use Katie Haynes as the secret word for today. And folklore and tradition state that a groundhog will come out of its hole on the 2nd of February. If the groundhog sees its shadow, it will return to its hole. This supposedly means that there will be 6 more weeks of winter. If it does not see its shadow, then spring is coming and the worst of winter is over. Actually, groundhogs usually begin their hibernation in September or October and end usually in March. So, all right, that's it. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.